Imagine being told your whole life that you're delusional, only for science to admit, centuries later, that you were right all along. Welcome to the strange world of historical myths, where stories once dismissed as nonsense turned out to be absolutely true. In this video, we're diving into tales that blurred the line between folklore and fact, superstition and science. From ghostly orbs that defied physics, to cities pulled straight out of epic poetry, this isn't your average history lesson. Let's explore the moments when myths got the last laugh. Number 8. The giant ape that wasn't supposed to exist. For generations, African villagers spoke of massive, hairy creatures lurking in the jungle. European scholars brushed it off as tribal fantasy, or, at best, misidentified monkeys. That was the mindset for over 1,000 years. Then in the 19th century, something changed. Skulls and bones landed in the hands of Western scientists, and they were bizarre, huge.
Too human to be ape, too ape to be human.
Skepticism persisted until explorer Paul du Chaillu actually saw them in the wild. What he confirmed was shocking. Gorillas, real and very much alive. It's a powerful reminder that local knowledge isn't always primitive. Sometimes, it's ahead of the curve.
Number 7. Ball lightning, ghost light or science.
Picture this. You're in a quiet chapel in medieval Europe.
A thunderstorm rolls in. Suddenly, a glowing ball of light floats through the wall.
Terrified, you tell someone. And they respond by calling a priest for an exorcism. This wasn't an isolated story. Accounts of ball lightning, floating spheres of light appearing during storms, date back centuries. Most scientists refuse to believe it. Too weird, too magical. But in the modern age, cameras caught it. Instruments measured it.
And the verdict.
It's plasma. Rare, unstable, but real. It even passes through walls. Not because it's a ghost, but because plasma can behave in wildly unpredictable ways. Sometimes, truth is stranger than the stories we dismiss. Number 6.
The empire buried by doubt, the Hittites.
If you read the Bible, the Hittites show up a lot. According to scripture, they were powerful rivals to Egypt. But until the early 1900s, historians shrugged. No artifacts, no empire, they said. That changed in 1906 when German archaeologist Hugo Winkler unearthed thousands of clay tablets in central Turkey. These weren't just administrative notes, they were diplomatic letters, treaties, royal decrees. It was like discovering an ancient United Nations. Turns out the Hittites weren't just real, they were one of the ancient world's superpowers.
The lesson here.
Just because a culture leaves no ruins doesn't mean it didn't leave a mark.
Number 5. When the ocean breaks the rules, rogue waves. Imagine sailing on a calm sea, then out of nowhere, a wall of water taller than your ship smashes into you.
For centuries, sailors told these tales. And for just as long, scientists told them to stop drinking. Waves follow rules, they said. They have predictable sizes and limits. But nature didn't get the memo. On January 1, 1995, an oil platform off Norway recorded an 84-foot wave, in conditions that shouldn't allow it. It was the Dropner wave, and it changed everything. We now know rogue waves are real,
lethal,
and terrifyingly unpredictable. What once sounded like sea legends became an urgent field of study in oceanography.
Number 4. The Viking Trail to America.
Long before Columbus, Norse sagas told of a land across the sea, Vinland. Historians treated these as Norse fanfiction, heroic tales of far-off lands with no evidence. Until the 1960s. That's when archaeologists discovered the remains of a Viking settlement in Newfoundland, Canada. 8 buildings, tools,
a blacksmith's forge,
and even seeds of butternut trees, which don't grow in Newfoundland. This meant the Vikings had traveled far deeper into North America than anyone imagined. Sometimes, old myths aren't myths at all, just unverified history waiting for evidence.
Number 3.
When rocks fell from the sky. In the 1700s, if you claimed a rock fell from the heavens, you'd be laughed at, or labeled drunk. The prevailing belief was that the heavens were perfect, unchanging, incapable of tossing stones at Earth. Villagers would bring actual meteorites to scientists, who then insisted they were thrown by volcanoes or carried by wind. Anything but space. That is, until 1803 in France, when thousands of rocks rained from the sky in broad daylight. Witnesses everywhere.
Smoke, fire, thunderclaps.
It was undeniable.
Suddenly, the sky wasn't perfect anymore.
It was dangerous, unpredictable, and littered with celestial debris.
And the people once mocked us superstitious.
They had been right all along. Number 2.
The warrior women of the steppe.
You've heard of the Amazons, fearless warrior women who fought alongside men in Greek myths. For centuries, they were seen as symbolic, metaphors, not history. Then archaeologists started digging near the Black Sea. What they found stunned them. Female skeletons buried with weapons. Their bones showed trauma from battle, sword strikes, arrow wounds, crushed skulls.
These weren't ceremonial graves.
These were battlefield veterans. In some burial sites, up to 40% of the warrior remains were women. That's not an exception. That's a cultural norm. Not only were Amazon-like warriors real, they may have inspired the legends more closely than we imagined. Number 1. The city that rose from legend, Troy. If you've read the Iliad, you know the story of Troy, a legendary city destroyed in the Trojan War. For centuries, scholars thought it was pure fiction.
Then came Heinrich Schliemann.
With a tattered copy of Homer's poems and deep pockets, he started digging in Turkey. What he found shocked the world, layers upon layers of ancient cities stacked like pancakes, one of which showed signs of massive destruction. He found weapons, walls, and treasures. And while Schliemann's methods were, frankly, reckless, he used dynamite, his discovery changed the perception of Homer's work forever. Turns out Troy wasn't just a bedtime story. It was real. And its fall may have had more to do with money and trade than love and betrayal. So, what does all this tell us? That history isn't static.
It breathes.
It evolves. And sometimes, the line between myth and reality is a matter of time, and a shovel. The lesson.
Don't be too quick to laugh at legends.
Some of them are just waiting for the right moment, or the right camera, or the right discovery, to prove themselves true. If this blew your mind even a little, hit like, subscribe, and share this video. Because who knows what other myths might turn out to be facts.